Today, we will understand the structure of the cell membrane, the living boundary of every cell. The cell membrane, also called the plasma membrane, is a thin, flexible, and selectively permeable covering that surrounds the cell. It separates the fluid outside the cell, called extracellular fluid, or ECF, and the fluid inside the cell, called intracellular fluid, or ICF, and maintains the internal environment of the cell. The thickness of the cell membrane is about 7 to 10 nanometers, so it can only be visible under an electron microscope. The modern explanation of the cell membrane is given by the Fluid Mosaic Model, proposed by Singer and Nicolson. The cell membrane is composed of three types of substances: proteins, lipids like phospholipid and cholesterol, and carbohydrates. The basic framework of the cell membrane is formed by a phospholipid bilayer. A phospholipid molecule has two main parts, a hydrophilic head and hydrophobic tails. The hydrophilic head is made of phosphate and is attracted to water, while the hydrophobic tails are made of fatty acids and repel water. In the phospholipid bilayer, the hydrophilic heads face outward toward the watery environments, one layer towards the intracellular fluid or cytoplasm, and another towards the extracellular fluid, forming water-soluble polar regions on both sides of cell membrane. The hydrophobic tails face inward toward each other, forming a nonpolar region, and it is insoluble in water. This arrangement creates a selective barrier that controls the movement of substances. The phospholipid bilayer allows lipid-soluble substances such as oxygen, carbon dioxide, alcohol, and steroid hormones to pass easily. However, water-soluble substances like glucose, urea, and electrolytes cannot cross freely and require special pathways. Embedded within the phospholipid bilayer are various membrane proteins. These proteins are essential for the functions of the cell membrane. Some proteins extend completely across the membrane and are called integral proteins or transmembrane proteins. Other proteins are attached only to the outer or inner surface and are called peripheral proteins. Integral proteins often function as channels, carriers, or transporters. Channel proteins form pores that allow specific ions, such as sodium, potassium, or chloride, to pass through. Carrier proteins bind to specific molecules, like glucose or amino acids, and help them move across the membrane by facilitated diffusion or active transport. Receptor proteins serve as the receptor sites for hormones and neurotransmitters. Another important component of the cell membrane is cholesterol. Cholesterol molecules are present between phospholipids. They regulate membrane fluidity. On the outer surface of the cell membrane, carbohydrates are present in the form of glycoproteins and glycolipids. Carbohydrate molecules, when attached to proteins, form glycoproteins. Some are attached to lipids and form glycolipids. These carbohydrate chains project outward from the membrane and form a protective layer called the glycocalyx. The glycocalyx plays a crucial role in cell recognition, cell adhesion, and immune response. The cell membrane is not just a passive barrier, it is a dynamic and functional structure involved in transport, communication, protection, and survival of the cell. Every physiological process in the body, including nerve impulse conduction, muscle contraction, and hormone action, depends on the proper structure of the cell membrane. In summary, the cell membrane is composed of a phospholipid bilayer, embedded proteins, cholesterol, and surface carbohydrates, all arranged in a fluid mosaic pattern. This precise organization allows the membrane to perform its vital physiological roles efficiently. So, that's the first part on cell physiology. On next video, we crack open the cell and look at its structure. Be sure to subscribe now and click the notification bell so you're ready when that video drops. See you soon!